So we did cover this, but I'm gonna go through it in this video and make it a little more concise for you because it was kind of mixed in with all the other information. So when we are talking about breastfeeding twins or chest feeding twins versus bottle feeding, things are gonna look a little bit different when it comes to scheduling. However, with either way, following the eat, awake, sleep pattern is what has worked really well for me and seems to be, pretty universally successful amongst parents. So I do recommend trying to keep to that pattern. When we are trying to establish milk supply, not timing feedings is very, very important because you want the babies to dictate to you and to your body how much milk they need. So with that comes kind of inconsistent feeding times, but if you can develop a pattern and stay pretty consistent with it, eventually this will evolve into a schedule. And usually we see that somewhere around 6 weeks start to begin. And then typically by 3 to 4 months, babies are pretty able to take on a schedule, if not already having had established one themselves. So for twins, the key to this is to try to get babies feeding and sleeping at the same time. So I call it the squeaky wheel syndrome, when one baby is telling you that they're hungry with feeding cues, they are just waking up for a brand new newborn is actually a hunger cue. They are putting their hands in their mouths, rooting, so turning their heads to the side and opening their mouths like a baby bird. All of those are those hunger cues that we're looking for. At the very first sign of them, we are going to get ready for a feeding and feed both babies. If you're individually feeding, you nurse one and then immediately wake the second one up and try to keep them as close together as possible. If you're tandem feeding, one wakes up, you wake the other one up, and then get that feeding going. The same kind of goes with sleeping. So in order to get them sleeping on the same schedule, it does take some work. We want to actively try to get the awake baby to sleep if we want both of them to be sleeping. If we want both of them to be awake, we need to wake up the baby who's sleeping to match the other one. Just try to, get things to be as similar as you can between them. It takes some consistency and time in the beginning, but it will evolve over the course of, the first few weeks and months into more of a structured schedule. But typically speaking, babies aren't ready for like a clock schedule, as they call it. So like eating at the same time, sleeping at the same time every day until about 3 or 4 months. But every baby has a different readiness level. So you kind of just have to watch for the cues. Hope that helps.